that means we can move on to Shipwreck's slightly uncomfortable segment.
Roll the song.
We don't have a song. If anybody wants to write a song for that, send that on in. And I got more buttons here that I could assign those to. So feel free to contribute.
What do you got this week?
This week, I'm not sure if I asked this one already, so you'll have to tell me if I did. If not,
if you don't have one, I have one also.
Okay. At Sean Franklin writes in and asks, what do you think on Major League Baseball moving the All-Star Game out of Atlanta? Did we do that already? No.
No, we haven't done that one.
Perfect. Lay it on us, Chip. In case people don't know, because Major League Baseball decided they were going to move the All-Star Game out of Atlanta to protest new voting regulations that are going to affect in Georgia.
The bad voting restriction laws.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, Shipwreck, what do you think?
I think...
Do you think that MLB is BLM backwards? Because it is.
It is. I do think that, yeah. I don't know what that means, but yeah, you're correct. I think it's their prerogative to do it. Mm-hmm. I can see some issues there from, like, I don't know what the Braves stance is on this. The Braves are standing to lose a lot of money from this, right? Like,
they can't be too excited.
The Braves and the businesses around the Braves that really have nothing to do. Possibly.
I was going to say, you know what? You say that, but I will take the flip side of that. The owners of the Braves knew exactly what was going on with the politics in the state of Georgia. There's no, you can't tell me that the owners of the Braves don't have their finger on the pulse of the governor and can't sway him one way or another. I disagree.
I don't know that they have that power.
I do. I think that sports. I think
the Atlanta Braves have that power.
I think the owner of the Braves has that much power in regards to donations, political donations, and sway with other powerful Republicans in the state of Georgia. I do think a team owner can have that much power. Ask Robert Kraft.
Well, that's a different team, though.
I know it's a different team, but he's got a tremendous amount of power.
I know. He could even get out of jail from
exactly
his hand job situation.
So, yeah, I do. I do think that the owner of the Braves has that much power and could have that much sway in politics and should have foreseen that if Major League Baseball was the amount of money he could lose if Major League Baseball moves this away, and should have done something to curb this from happening before it happens.
I mean, I'm all for them. To be clear, I'm all for them making this decision. It's just, I understand. I don't know the fact that it's hurting a lot of people in Georgia too for this that don't have anything, none of that.
And I would put onus on the owner of the Braves before I would put the onus on the governor who was going to do this all along.
What?
The money loss,
more on the Braves than the governor who was going to do this.
Yes, because it's the money is the reason why all this happens.
The owner of the Braves could have stopped this
before it happened. I do. I think he could have.
I don't know the situation there with the Braves owner, but I know if something was to come through Ohio and the owner of the Reds, he would not have that sway.
I don't know who owns the Braves, by the way. So
okay,
Liberty Media apparently.
I'm like, I don't even know who owns the Braves.
It's a corporate owner, Liberty Media.
Braves ownership list of Atlanta Braves owners and executives. Who are the Braves owned by?
Anyway, so Shipwreck, you support the decision.
I support the decision. I understand that it's going to hurt a lot of people that had nothing to do with that decision.
Understood.
As well.
Okay.
But I don't. It's an odd one because I don't know how MLB decided it either. If it's just Manfred that decided it, or if there was like a vote from the players and the owners and all of that, because that's a slippery thing to do too, because then it's just the commissioner of baseball playing politics with the entire league, right?
Right.
John C. Malone is the owner of the Braves. He is 80 years old. He's worth $9 billion.
You don't care about anything. Literally nothing.
Nothing.
All right. I think that's it for Shipwreck's Slightly Uncomfortable segment. He was slightly uncomfortable. I'm going to say that this segment was a victory.
That was a good one. It's not a clear-cut one.
And he donated.
I think the right decision is made, but
the owner of the Braves donated $250,000 to Donald Trump's inauguration.
Perfect.
That's fine.
Is it?
So yeah, I'm gonna say the
I'm
Braves knew exactly what they were doing. I blame the Braves.
Okay. Wombat, this wasn't your segment, but you're allowed to blame anybody you want at any time.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move on to your segment now, Wombat. Wombats, what is this called? Wombats, what would Wombat do? Tales from Retail. That's what it's called. This week's contribution is from Chris. He writes in, I bought a sectional couch from Lazy Boy in late November for about $3,500. At the time of the purchase, the salesman told my wife and I there would be a 16-week build time because of COVID, and we said that would be okay. So if 16 weeks rolls around and they call to check in on what's going on, and they're told that, oh, actually, it's coming in June, so it's not going to be 4 months, it's going to be 7 months, actually. And they would never even had gotten that update if they hadn't called to see what was up. So the question is, Wombat, what would you do?
So I missed the beginning. So what did they buy?
They bought a sectional couch from Lazy Boy, $3,500. They were told it was going to take 4 months. It's now they're told it's going to take 7 months after the 4 months. This
happens
passed.
a lot with furniture places.
It's almost always.
Yeah, furniture is I've never read a good review of any furniture store ever.
Right.
So it's really hit or miss, and you are kind of rolling the dice whenever you order furniture.
Right.
Especially,
but what would you do? What would you do in this situation?
I know, and
that's
it is
the
sort
name of the game.
I think it's twofold. I think it's you spent a lot of money on that couch. So I guess the question is, can you still get a refund if they haven't delivered anything to you yet? At what point do you say, you know what, forget it, give me back my money?
Well, they need a couch, I think.
Right. They have no couch. Well, they've must have had something during this time. You say, hey, can I get a refund?
This happened to my parents, actually, now that I think about it, in their Florida place. And they wound up like sitting on lawn furniture for like months.
Yeah. You can say, hey, give me a refund.
Right.
You can say, this is unacceptable. Knock some money off of this. You can say, or you could just say, well, I would want something to make me feel better that this couch is actually coming. And I think that's sort of the problem. It's one thing if they say, you know what, COVID hit us harder than we thought. It's going to take 7 months.
Yeah.
There's got to be some way. Well, how do you reassure me that this is really coming in 7 months? Or can you say, well, what do you have that I can get sooner?
You're screwed. You're not getting anything out of this situation.
Right.
At the end of the day, you're probably screwed.
Well, Chris's resolution was to do nothing and just wait.
Yeah.
So that's we'll see what happens.
These chairs right behind me, I remember came, I don't know, several months after what they were supposed to.
Yeah.
And you can't do anything. You can email them, you can call them. It doesn't make the things happen any faster.
Yes.